The Mary River turtle is quite unique in Australia, and the males have this massive tail, huge. And of course, inside its tail are this specialised structure which allows it to breathe through its bum, so hence the colloquial term of calling it a bum breather.
The Mary River turtle is listed as critically endangered, one rung away from extinction, with the remaining turtles under pressure from predators, habitat destruction and climate change in the only part of the country where they're found, Queensland's Mary River system.
I'm the project manager for the Mary River Turtle Conservation Program, working with Torra Landcare.
More than 2,000 Australian species are listed as under threat. As scientists warn of an extinction crisis, passionate people across the country are doing what they can to stop Australia's unique wildlife from disappearing.
A species that has survived for 50 million years now hasn't got time to evolve and adapt to the current wave of threats that have happened in the last 200 years.
In December 2024, when unseasonable flooding threatened the turtles' breeding season, Marilyn was among those who took action.
I think people don't realise how populations are declining rapidly of many species throughout Australia.
Brought on by days of heavy rain, December's floods were only moderate, but they came at the wrong time, just as the turtle eggs buried along the river were due to hatch. This part of the river has only reached these heights in December 6 times in the last 100 years.
Unfortunately, what it means now is that every wild-laid Mary River turtle clutch and embryos that are incubating have all drowned.
Before the floodwaters hit, Torra Landcare moved 2 groups of eggs higher up the riverbank.
Thankfully, those clutches are safe, and we hope the flood level doesn't go up too much tonight.
The next morning, Marilyn went to check on the 2 groups of eggs.
And we all had our fingers crossed that the nest would be above the floodwaters, but we couldn't find them. We're feeling a little bit despondent and not very hopeful that they'll have survived. It's those gullies. The creeks and gullies contribute a huge amount of fine sediments as the soil erodes. In the river, it's so very dirty now compared to what it used to be. Habitat degradation is a huge issue, particularly for these specialised turtles like the Mary River turtle that breathes through their bum. The sediment just makes it a whole lot more difficult, so they have to surface a lot more frequently. It means a lot more other creatures in the river are going to see you. It greatly increases predation.
Thankfully, the second group of eggs had survived.
We've got 1, 2, how many more, Tyler? 3,
4, 5.
5 nests. I'm sure that politicians and people in Canberra or even our local members don't have any idea of the scale and impact that small community groups like ours have on threatened species. In Australia, historically, governments haven't really been that supportive of restoration work or recovery of, endangered or critically endangered species. A couple of the ladies had this brainwave to make chocolate turtles and sell them so we can raise our own money and spend it how we need to. But of course, that hasn't been enough. We were quite fortunate to get some money from the United Arab Emirates, the Crown Prince over there. Yeah, it's quite embarrassing having to go overseas and compete against other countries that are nowhere near as well off as what we are. Our government has these plans and expectations that we will recover threatened species, but unfortunately the money isn't where their mouth is. Slowly the wheels of bureaucracy turn and things happen, but with little realisation that it is small community groups in the country that are implementing those plans and actions and doing it on the sale of chocolate turtles.